Three, two, one.
You ready?
You're listening to the Real Pineapple Podcast Network. All right, 3, 2. Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you.
You son of a bitch.
I know. We are the Real Pineapple. This is Hunter here. I'm here with Scott. Scott, how you doing, sir?
Fantastic. Hunter, how you doing?
I'm great, man. By the way, Colin, we miss you. Sorry that the fucking Giants couldn't win on opening goddamn day. Sorry, just not a great start for my
Thinking
Giants,
of you.
Yeah, we miss you, buddy. So, before we jump in here, just to let you guys know, our the other Real Pineapple podcast, just to give a quick little preview, pardon me, of what's coming up. Zebra Down, our wrestling podcast, will be returning, and that will be posted on Monday. We're gonna preview WrestleMania, me and my good bud OJ, and then I'm gonna be launching. We'll be launching a new nerd podcast that's gonna come out bi-weekly, where we debate new like nerd topics. So like our favorite sci-fi movies of all time, our favorite comic book heroes. That will be a bi-weekly podcast, and that will be launching in summer. So we'll have 3 podcasts on a damn near weekly basis for you guys. So
Real Pineapple Network.
Yes, sir. So look forward to that, guys. Now we're talking about something that neither of us are looking forward to. We're talking about Tyler Perry's Acrimony, and we have to put that out there because that's what the title actually is. Tyler Perry.
Is it this one really titled that?
Yeah, Tyler Perry's Acrimony. That's how they were pushing it in all the trailers and all the marketing. Yeah, Tyler Perry's Acrimony. If you look it up on Google, that's how it pops up. So
He just cannot have his name not associated in every way with his movies.
It's very true. And so before I kind of dive in here, so I'm gonna share my experience. By the way, Scott, in case you didn't know, I might have smoked a little reefer. So if I randomly stumble over words,
that doesn't sound like you at all.
I know, right? I know. It's a devil's cigarette. It's a gateway drug, but
Damn kids.
Yeah, seriously, damn kids and your funny cigarettes. But so I went and saw this on Saturday. I saw Ready Player One first, which was actually good, and we'll have a review up for that here this weekend. But I went and saw Ready Player One, and then I saw this. I was not looking forward to this. I saw one trailer for it during, I think it was before Pacific Rim they played it. No, it was Game Night. Game Night, that's what it was.
Yes, yep.
Game Night, they played the trailer before, and I went, oh my god, what the fuck are you guys doing? It was just not
I think
great.
I might have seen it before 50 Shades Darker.
Or Freed, you mean?
Freed. Oh, Freed. That's right, the slave one.
I know.
I think I might have saw this one before that.
Yeah, no, that sounds about right. So here's the thing about Tyler Perry.
And I was really excited
to see this.
Yeah, of course. You know I'm a big Tyler Perry fan.
Yeah, that is true. So I mean, if you haven't listened to our Boo 2 review, you should. I mean, I was upset, but I think I'm just kind of numb to it by now. But you were fucking furious.
Yeah, that one made me really angry. I don't know why. I think it just was like, I don't know what it was, but it clicked something in my head, and it. Well, I mean, I know what it was. You can go back and listen to it, but it was just kind of an overall fuck you from it. I couldn't find any way to quantify how much it seemed like Tyler Perry is just full of himself and wants to be in complete control of everything, no matter how shitty the movie is. He's gonna ram it down your throat, and that's what this movie basically ended up being.
So I will say, let's describe our theater experiences a little bit. So I went and saw this at 1:40, right? And there was maybe generously 15 people, maybe 20 people in theater, I would say, right? So I'm sitting like, not quite in the back of the theater, maybe 5 rows up, or 5 rows from the back of the theater, right? And Scott, I try really hard, man, as a critic, to not be that black dude in the theater while I'm talking to the screen, and I'm just like, oh, whatever. I was totally that guy. I probably said "What the fuck is happening" out loud at least 10 times in this movie. And I tried, man. I was trying to kind of almost cover my mouth, but there was just a point I went, no one's gonna fucking like go up to the front and be like, "Hey, he's yelling the right thing at this."
If somebody stood up in the movie and said that, and that means that they're enjoying themselves, and if they're enjoying themselves, then they just like need to not be in a theater like that. Oh my gosh, I feel like, so my experience was it was basically by myself until about 5 minutes in. This one lady came in and sat probably, I don't know, 15, or not 15, it's not that bad, about 5 rows back.
Old black lady?
No, she was like, I would say
Really?
probably middle-aged. I couldn't really get a glimpse. I wasn't really trying to like, it was just me and her. It was just me and her in the entire theater.
Well,
and
she
it
was
great.
probably black because you couldn't see her, right?
No, she was white. She was definitely white. I
Really?
checked. Yes. It was the weirdest thing. We were probably like the strangest demographic to be at this movie at this time. Like it was actually kind of funny. But yeah, I would have preferred to see it alone so I could
cry,
really let my anger out. But I definitely let out. I was like laughing at points, like to myself, like kind of like insanely, sort of. Yeah, I couldn't imagine what this lady was thinking, just like hearing me laughing to myself at these supposedly dramatic moments in this movie.
So Scott, we're gonna pretend Tyler Perry is a pinata, a TPP, if you will. I'm gonna give you first swing, Scott. So tell me this plot. Give us a quick summary of it and what you kind of thought of it.
So basically, Melinda, played by Taraji P. Henson, who I'll just say first, generally I like.
Me too.
I think she's good in Empire, and she's been in a lot of good movies. Smoking Aces, actually, I liked her in that.
Yeah.
So basically, it opens up with her at a therapist's office, or it actually opens up in the courtroom where she's the judge is basically granting a restraining order on her from her husband. Cuts to her in a doctor's office talking to this psychiatrist, and so she basically retells this story of her getting together with what's the character's name here, Robert.
Yeah.
And it kind of takes them through basically why she's so pissed off at him, and from what I gather, like why she, I mean, full spoilers, right?
Oh, full spoilers. Yeah.
Like why she tried to kill him eventually, which is apparently what this is all leading to, I guess. I had to ask myself that a few times throughout the movie, like what's happening here? What am I missing that's going on? Basically, it kind of takes them through their childhood when they met, where he cheats on her in college, and that just kind of leads to this whole like tumbling an avalanche of hatred for her husband and ex-husband, stemming from, which is key to this movie, stemming from the fact that her ovaries got ruptured when she tried to
Kill him. Yeah.
In her Jeep, and ends up pushing his trailer that he lives in, right? And now she can't have a kid, so it's just like them when they're in adulthood. And boy, I mean, what's not to love about this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, over and over I was asking myself, like, what's the point of these things that are like, why is this happening? And my other thought was, Tyler Perry fucking sucks at dialogue. and writing in general, like writing a script, writing dialogue, it's just so clumsy, and the whole movie was. I mean, sorry, I'm taking multiple swings. It's hard when you're swinging, like to not just really want to like take its head off. So I'll hand it over to you.
Oh, cool! It's my time. It's my turn at bat. To quote Nelly.
Yeah, swing away, please.
To quote Nelly and the Saint Lunatics. So let me introduce. Random Nelly reference. Let me introduce
Nelly's never a random reference around here.
That's fair. Let me introduce you. Let me welcome you, Scott, to Tyler Perry World. Tyler Perry World.
I don't know. I don't want to go.
Oh no, you do, because Tyler Perry World is a world where a woman. What's Taraji P. Henson's character's name? Melinda.
Mel.
Oh, Linda.
Melinda.
Oh, Melinda. Okay, I was right.
Yeah.
Where Melinda says, "Oh, you think like to her counselor to start the movie? Oh yeah, you think I'm an angry black woman? That's a stereotype." And she goes, "Well," and she goes, "Well, where do you think you're angry?" She goes, "First off, fuck you." And I'm like, what the fuck? I was like, you can't.
That's to start the movie.
That's like 5 minutes in, and Tyler Perry Land, where you can get $10 million and a house back from your ex, and you go, he's building a life without me, even though I divorced him.
Oh, you don't know what's going on in this movie? Oh, we're gonna tell you. You know, this is about stereotypical angry black women. Okay, all right, you ready? Okay, here we go. Like, we're gonna tell a story now. We're gonna guide you along.
Tyler Perry Land, a world where a woman can ram a trailer with a truck, and the only thing that gets hurt are her ovaries, not her neck or her chest or anything like that. Nope, just her ovaries, because we need conflict for this movie.
And what a shallow conflict. They never even went back and touched on this, except one time when they got older, and she said that she had nothing like to hold on to. By the way, I'm sorry, I can't hold this anymore. These motherfuckers are in the same job, doing the same thing that they've been doing. Like, they're like 40 now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, it's been like 20 years, and this guy's working on the same exact, like, fucking battery, which is because he's a battery inventor, because that shit exists. You know what I want to be when I grow up? I want to invent batteries that just last forever. Okay, you go do that, little Tyler. Maybe somebody told Tyler Perry that at some point in his life. And this chick is still working at the same place and can't pay the mortgage.
Yeah.
So you're telling me this lady has been... I don't know why this bugged me so much, but, like, this is the most unrealistic movie, like, just across the board. There's, like... Did you notice the green screen in the... Like...
Yeah.
So there's a few outside shots of them in like New York City, and they're not there. They're not there. If you look closely, it's completely green screen. They're sitting on a bench at some point, and it's like, I really want to know how much they spent on this movie.
20 million. 20 million. I looked it up.
Okay. Because, boy, they must have saved a lot of money, because there's only a few locations that this whole movie takes place, which is, I mean, let's be honest, a Tyler Perry theme. That's just, you're part of Tyler Perry's world at this point.
Yeah. So I will say...
Sorry, I had to rant there. I couldn't hold it back.
No, because that is the beginning of unrealistic shit in this. So let's start with how they meet. So they're in college, right? College sweethearts. And she bumps into him. Let's just get that out of the way, right? She bumps into him.
And is fucking pissed at him, which is... Sorry. I'm sorry.
No. You're all good. And I'll be honest, man. This is when I went, oh, man, I'm going to fucking hate this. It's because he picks up her papers like a gentleman. He's like, and he apologizes because it's raining. He goes, I'm so sorry. So he hands her papers, and she starts hitting him. Not, like, just smacking the shit out of him.
Immediately.
Like, he barely gets any words out before he just starts slapping the shit out of him. And then, like a dumb fucking fool, he takes the rest of her papers out, hunts her down at her dorm, and the first thing she says, what do you want? I'm like, God, what a cunt. Like, it's just...
This is the most unlikable character I've seen in a long time.
And that's the problem from Jump, is that they're both so incredibly terrible. I just went, can you both just be in a car crash and just, like there's no one in this movie that's likable. Nobody, because... So they end up getting married, right? And Melinda, you find out, has an inheritance that her mother left her. They never go over the fact why the mom didn't leave any of this inheritance with the other sisters, but that's a whole nother thing. But she leaves
Not
her.
to mention she's a fucking gold digger. How shallow. Like you said, these are the. I'm okay. All right, I get.
Go ahead. No, go ahead, man.
No, these are the most unlikable characters. She, like you said before, she ends up getting $10 million from this dude, and because surprise, surprise, shit works out when she's not there, and she still wants to murder this dude. Like no, like, it's unbelievable that he thought that this would come across as realistic. I don't get it. Like I was laughing during the movie, like I was laughing out loud at how ridiculous this was, and that like I felt like a madman just laughing by myself in this theater with this one middle-aged white woman who I had no idea what was going on.
Well, okay, we'll get there.
Like,
we'll
yeah,
get to
okay, I'm jumping ahead.
No, it's all right. It's all right. So basically, they end up getting married. You find out that Melinda has an inheritance. I think it's like $393,000, something like that. It's under $400,000. I remember. I think so.
It's like $350 or something like that.
Yeah. So basically, and apparently she tells him this like a week into seeing him. I went, that's like the dumbest thing you could possibly.
She's
like,
the dumbest girl ever.
She's really stupid, but I mean that's just kind of something random that I feel like you wouldn't. I mean, you know, first week you're like, oh, what's your favorite candy? You know, what's like, what are one of your
yeah?
What's one of your favorite movies? Oh, by the way, did I mention I'm worth over $300,000? Just throwing that out there. Like, no biggie, right? But so basically, he ends up just soaking her dry. So what happens? He loses scholarship, if memory serves, something like that.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if it was a scam or not because they never went into it. But
yeah, that's another thing.
Basically, he like because of his he's a battery inventor. He's going to school for inventing batteries and stuff. He needs a bunch of money for things, and that you have to do to make batteries. So yeah, bleeds her dry. Basically, they have to mortgage her dead mother's house.
Which I'm not gonna lie, I laughed so hard when you brought that up. No, honestly, that's when I just went, all right, movie. Like I was, because dude, I'm gonna be honest, man. I knew this was gonna suck, but I, in my wildest nightmares, could not have imagined how much ass this would suck. Like,
didn't it feel like he was trying to like be very deep? Like he was actually trying to be really deep and like have multiple things going on in like the building, and you don't know who's the bad guy and who's the good guy. Like none of them are good guys. They're all like assholes. Even the sisters, and the sisters like the sisters were so the one sister, I forget who she is played by. I don't have her in front of me here. I think it's was it Diana? No, Brenda.
Yeah, Brenda. Yeah,
Brenda. She was just like completely unlikable for no reason. Ended up being right, but there's no like. I'm getting lost in my thoughts here. On the anger is taking over again.
So can I just say real quick? If you are dark skinned, don't be in a Tyler Perry movie, because Tyler Perry hates dark skinned people. He hates them so much. Like this,
I was kind of surprised to see her in this.
Well, she's worked with him 2 other times. So
what else was she in?
She was in this terrible Tyler Perry movie.
Was she in the serious ones? Not the
Medeas? Yeah.
Okay.
She was in she was in the one called I Can Do Bad All By Myself, and Medea's in that for some reason. And then there's this one called The Family That Prays. And that's Preys because he's so clever. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, Taraji P. Henson, she's better than this, I would think.
Way better than this.
She was just in Hidden Figures, which was nominated for multiple Oscars. I go, really? And you go backwards and go, oh, I'll help out Tyler Perry.
And that's how you can tell how shitty this writing is. Like, you have an actress like her, and just like that whole scene of her being with the therapist is like it was pretty hard to watch. I felt like man, she has nothing to work with.
Yeah, I will say she's in her 40s. She still looks good. Like, I mean, I know I make jokes on here about black women, but I saw her. I was like, you're playing a bitch, but you're my kind of bitch, baby. but,
Muy bonita.
Yeah, there you go. But, so she's really bad. The guy who plays Robert is just such a fucking douche. I was like, man, I want you to get hit by a car. Like, he's just like, come on, baby. Like, 18 years they were married, and he's like, come on, baby, this battery is gonna work. I promise. Come on, just like.
Keep believing me. Keep say the same things you said to me 18 years ago.
So the thing that I found genuinely laughable is when they're still young, he like has the battery running, like it's running at a point in the house, and she goes, "Did you call the electrician?" And the first thing he goes is, "What for?" And I think, didn't you get a degree in mechanical engineering? And the first thing wasn't calling the fucking electric company. Like
the whole premise is that he is continually trying to get his patent heard at this one particular company for some reason.
Only one.
Like, only one. The only one. He's never branched out and talked to a few people that this like game-changing idea.
Because that makes sense.
Yeah, because that would make sense. And he'd been writing him and sending him letters and calling him, and they like basically put out a
restraining order.
Restraining order, exactly. And if it wasn't because he happened to be sleeping with the boss, that they were able to see his shit and was like, oh, you know what? This does look pretty good. Here's $75 million. Well, 800,000. I digress. You'll need to see it to get that one. But the whole premise there that he's has no wherewithal, who's apparently college educated, mechanical engineer, can't get a job anywhere. He applied to 3 places. That the guy's a lazy motherfucker.
Wait. Okay, so you said he applied places. I have to back up. Did we forget to mention that in Tyler Perry land, this guy happened to be like, oh yeah, I got a felony because I used to be in a gang, and we did and I went, oh, for fuck's sake.
Damn black people always being in gangs.
Dude, if this is the reason Trump hates black people is because he saw this movie, I would totally get it. Because I loved this movie and I went, man, I kind of hate black people.
Like, why do I hate every person? Oh, they're all black. Oh,
yeah.
I get it. Thanks,
Tyler Perry, see what you do to me, motherfucker? Like, but yeah, like he happened to be in a gang, and so I will give the movie a little credit. I haven't laughed this hard since game night. I mean, I was laughing not with the movie, but at the movie. So I need to put that qualifier out. I mean, because there's a point. By the way, the sisters, her sisters, they're like the evil stepsisters in Cinderella, or they're like black velociraptors because they're never by themselves. Like they're always together,
and they're like they're always together, and they're in her house constantly, and they're apparently don't. I guess they live together still or something like that. I don't know. He didn't make it clear enough for me. It's Tyler Perry land. I'm very confused when I enter this world.
I don't blame you. Well, remember they move out because she has to take over, the mortgage or whatever. But
right. What
I did find really funny though, man, is this reminded me of black women in a salon. Like when I used to have my dreadlocks and get my hair done. I almost said did. I had to catch myself there.
I'm surprised you didn't.
Yeah, I know. My hair did, but. When black women in the salon would just talk shit about their men and about men in general, I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh, there's a black woman doing my hair. I really hope you don't fuck this up. It was just the sisters just talking about men ain't shit. This man ain't shit. Why are you still with him? And the sisters all get married. But these guys, between the 3 dudes, they maybe have 40 lines total between the two, like between all 3 of them.
Around.
Dude, they are like backstage props. They might as well be black rocks in the background. Like they're just like it's like
because they're good looking, and Tyler Perry's like, yeah, just throw them on the set. Like let's just have them in a few shots.
But yeah, they're like good at talking to women. Like, honey, we're talking. I'm like, okay, baby. I'm sorry. It's like I'm just here to be a dark skinned evil black man or light skinned black man. You know me, but
I'm genuinely curious from you because I didn't really know after I watched this. Like,
yeah,
So it starts off, I feel like you're supposed to be sympathetic for Melinda because of these horrible things that that she claims were done to her, and then you kind of find out that it's not so that way. But he's a cheater and she's crazy.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure what was he I don't honestly don't understand what he was trying to do there. Like
I have no idea.
Like, who were we supposed to like? I honestly don't know which person he wanted, like, he was attempting for me to get behind in this movie. Was it, like, I feel like it was supposed to be Robert at the end, where you kind of realize this bitch is fucking crazy. Which they do, I mean, I will give them that. They do a good job of portraying that, but, like, I was so lost. Like, who? I hate everybody in this movie. What are you trying to? What are you trying to sell? What are you trying to sell here, Tyler?
That's where I landed. I just went, you both suck, just in different ways. So why should I give a fuck about either of you?
Exactly.
And that's the biggest problem. Like, this is like an unironic version of It's Always Sunny, where Tyler Perry was trying to do a gothic, or in his case, a Negro gothic fairy tale, where it's like, hey, like, you know, don't cheat on your husband, like, don't cheat on your wife, and don't be crazy, I guess.
But it wasn't even like, it was weird because it wasn't preachy in that regard, that like, oh, cheating is this or that, or divorce is this or that. It's just that, like, he just wanted to show some angry black woman get back at some dude for some reason. I don't know. I was so lost. Like, that's why I was laughing hysterically, like, nonsensically in this movie. It was like, what is going on? This is ridiculous. I can't believe this is a thing.
Yeah, no.
I'm so curious to hear other people's thoughts on this, because, like, I didn't get it. I don't get any of these movies, but this one in particular, I could tell he was really trying just for something specific, but it was lost on me.
So here's my thing, and by the way, guy, to our lovely audience, we're jumping around here because the movie jumps the fuck around. Like, just so, like, if you ever see this, which you shouldn't, but if you do, you'll understand. But
and part of it is like things pop into our head. It's like, I can't believe he did this.
Exactly,
I can't believe he did that. I need to really say this shit. So yeah, we're all over the place.
Yeah, but I will say, watching the movie, at first I went, oh wow, you know, Robert's really fucking her over. But there is a point where if someone's treating you like shit, it is up to you to be like, okay,
yeah.
You know, in 18 years, really, there's no point where
this whole thing is her fault. Like, you stayed with the dude that cheated on you.
Yeah.
And, like, tried to fucking murder him. And then after this is after too that he spent all of her money, basically all of her money, on student loans and on all this shit. Like, that's on you. Like, that's if you're blaming him at any point, then you're crazy, and she obviously is crazy. I mean, that's the point, but boy.
Yeah, she's just so the thing is about this movie too is I will give the movie one scene. There's this point where she tells him to get out and she gets really serious, and I went, "Oh, that was actually decent." Now, granted, it's immediately undercut by saying, "You know me, I can beat the devil." And I went, "Oh, fuck. You like you had some goodwill, you just lost it." But I will at least give her that scene because she does get really intense.
That's Taraji P. Henson's, like, that's her actually acting. You're like, oh, right, she does act well. Like that, like she is given a little bit here.
Yeah, but dude, so this movie is bad for most of it, but the last 30 minutes goes into just like Joker territory. Like it turns into it turns into, you remember that movie Law Abiding Citizen with Jamie Foxx? Mm-hmm. It's like that, where it just turns into just chaos. And the irony in this movie is that as much as Tyler Perry talks about Jesus, It's like him and Jesus broke up because Tyler Perry. This is the first time he's said that. Like he's had anyone say the F word.
I know. I was gonna say there's a lot of swearing. Like he went off in this one.
Yeah, and you actually get to see some black man ass too. I was like, oh shit!
Yeah,
like
nice.
I know, not as good as mine because mine is wonderful. But,
I was like, man, I wish that was Hunter in the shower making out with that other hot chick.
All right, I'd do that. I'd be willing to make that sacrifice.
I guess I'd take one for the team.
Yeah, she is black, but I'm kidding. But rather have it be Hope Solo, but what do you?
She's got great hands.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. Hey, Hope, call the girl, but I don't know. But this movie, just in the last 30 minutes, so Melinda gets acid, which they never explain. Gets the acid from,
and you know because there's a little acid sticker on the bottle.
Man, Tyler Perry is not subtle, is he? It's just like giant, like poison sticker. Like this is dangerous.
Like skull with crossbones.
I thought we were watching the Black Pirates of the Caribbean movie for a second, but
I'm gonna ruin your dress.
Yeah. But what I found funny is that the people at the counter are like, "Oh, hey, welcome to our boutique." Not boutique, that's flowers. But like, welcome to our shop. Like, is there anything we can help you with? And she's like, "Oh, I'm just looking." And she goes back there for like 3 minutes, and no one checks in on her, and she just pours this acid all over the bridesmaid, the bride's dress of Robert's new fiance. And I just went, "Really, guys? Like, no one would check in on her?" Like,
No. This is Tyler Perry world. She just walks away. It just starts smoking, which is what when you pour acid on a dress, it smokes, right? That's just what happens. Like, that's a great way to get somebody back, apparently. 'Cause this girl, if you do something crazy, it's like that, right? Like you pour poison on their dress. Yeah, that was sick burn. Pun intended.
Yeah, well done. So after she throws him out of the house and they get divorced, he ends up like washing dishes, right, at some restaurant or whatever. And so he's been writing this one company, like this one tech company. As you mentioned, Scott, he never reaches out to anyone else because why the fuck would he? But he's been running this one company for 18 years, and who happens to become like the new CEO of the company? The girl that he cheated on Melinda with. I went, wow, this is apparently coincidence town too, on top of Tyler Perry land, because really, of all
and not only, I don't know if you mentioned this, but she went out on a blind date with somebody, and she saw him washing dishes in the back. Like, that was also a thing.
I totally forgot about that. Holy crap! Yeah,
that's the restaurant that she goes to. I mean, the whole thing is like this build of energy and hatred that she has towards him, and specifically his new fiance and wife. But like, just the little shit like that. That's like, oh yeah, she's gonna be real pissed after she sees him working in the dish pit. Like, yeah. If I saw my ex working, like, fucking washing dishes in the back, I would be pissed. I would be like, yeah, that's right. Like, that's about time you got your hands dirty. You know, like, that's not the reaction you don't have. You don't get pissed at somebody who has to fucking work a dishwashing job. Like, it's completely, it's just so unrealistic that it's hard to stand. It's very hard to stand. It's the complete opposite where it's funny.
So she's the one who eventually pushes his project on through. So he was originally going to get $800,000, which, by the way, he wouldn't take the deal, even though they were broke, and he could have saved, Melinda's mom.
He's such a lazy son of a bitch.
Yeah, I was like, oh, cool. You're not gonna. I mean, that's almost $1 million. So I mean, assuming $600,000 after taxes.
I mean, he wasn't necessarily wrong.
He wasn't wrong, but at that point,
given his situation,
yeah, you need to shut the fuck up and take that money. But so he ends up getting, what is it, like $700 million for the patent or some shit like that.
Yeah, he gets like $75 million or something.
Yeah, like it's almost. I thought it was over. I thought it was like $500 million. I could be wrong, but he at least gets $75 million, and so. He goes back to Melinda's office, tells her, "Hey, babe, I'm sorry." And honestly, man, when he apologized to her, I went, "Oh my god, I actually think he's sorry." Like, he's still a douchebag, but I think he's sorry. And so he buys her mom's house back, right? That they lost. And then he goes ahead and gives her $10 million, right? So let's
and
just
a car.
Oh, that's right. He got her the car too. Oh my god. So let's just assume after taxes, like she has $7 million left. That is $7 million, and she has the nerve to go, "Oh my god, he's moved on without me. This bitch is living my life." I went, "You ungrateful bitch. What is wrong? Only in Tyler Perry land would you basically win the lottery and you're like, oh, fuck that. That's not enough." I went, really?
You know what she first did is she went crawling back. The first thing that she did is she found out where he lived. She remembered that the apartment that he wanted to be in. Shows up at his door with basically nothing on underneath this robe,
which was one of the few good scenes in the movie. By the way, I mean, she looks good, man.
She does look good. She does. I won't argue with you. But like, all of a sudden, it's like, oh, I'm not angry anymore because now you're a rich motherfucker, and now I can get a boat and I can get a ring, and just the most materialistic woman. And gold, just a straight gold digger. Let's be honest here. Like, that's the reason why he was nothing but, like, genuine about how he felt about her. And now she's just like, you know what? You got a few million. I'm pretty shallow. Like, let's do this now. And because he was with somebody else, now she wants to murder him.
Yeah.
Because apparently, like you said, 10 million isn't enough. Like, that's some fuck you money. Like no, This is nothing to me. I would rather stalk you on Facebook.
So Scott, I'm not saying she's a gold digger, but she wasn't messing with no broke niggas as far as I'm concerned.
Broke.
There you go. But you're right though. She just becomes a gold digger just from jump. Now, granted, you could make the argument, yeah, she deserves some of this money, but she's going for half his money. And as a dude, I went, fuck you and fuck that. Like, I'm sorry, you divorced me. Should have hung in the cuff, baby.
And like the judge said or whatever, he gave her money he didn't have to, basically.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, I know it's going to sound bad, ladies, but sorry. I mean, they didn't sign, I guess they signed a prenup. Or, no, she divorced him before, so, yeah, should have hung in there. But he gave her 10 mil. Not like you can't live off 10 mil. And she has the nerve to be like, I want more. And you're right, Scott. She goes crazy. The judge gives her, I can't remember the first thing she does prior pouring acid on dress, but she, the judge ends up going like, hey, restraining order, stop it. And after she pours the acid on dress, he goes, hey, 300 yards, stop that. And then that takes us to the third act where we see her stalking, as you said, stalking them on Facebook, stalking their wedding. She's cutting like putting X's through the eyes of some of their like engagement pictures, and doing the most stereotypical fucking thing where like the light is red in her room, she's dancing around. I went, oh, this is just the most. I was like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know I was in like film writing for dummies. Like, Jesus Christ, like, really? That's like, you know what I mean though? And before I throw it back to you real quick, so if you are a film major or a journalism major, one of the first things they teach you once you're in middle school is to avoid saying the following sentence. Webster's dictionary defines such and such. And Tyler Perry, whenever she's feeling a different emotion for that quote act unquote he's about to do, they flash the dictionary definition of words to describe her emotions. I went, this is the most textbook basic bullshit. And I went, my God. So they do it to start the movie, and went, oh, okay, that's just to start the movie.
Right, you think, okay, then maybe this is it.
Absolutely not. It happens like 6 more times. And I went, you were just...
At really weird times, too. It's not even, like, evenly spread out.
No, it's not. Like, to paraphrase Colin when we talked about Boo 2, this movie isn't even worth it being broken up into acts. It's just...
To paraphrase Colin again, it's really, 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 really dumb.
well done, sir. And so she also turns into Jason Voorhees because they go on their honeymoon on this yacht, and she just teleports onto the yacht. How did she get on the yacht? Doesn't matter. How did she get the acid? Doesn't matter. The judge flat out says we'll be watching you because we have this restraining order. Robert has no security on the boat. Why wouldn't you have security on the boat? Because fuck you, that's why. And it's just the most ridiculous movie. And the way she ends up dying, dude, I was laughing so hard. The way that Melinda ends up getting taken care of, I went, cool. This is just like, because honestly, why wouldn't she die like that? Like, you know what I mean? It's practically.
Yeah, I mean, it is trying. I mean, for me, I would have loved some sort of suspense in this movie. Like, I feel like it wouldn't have been really hard. I feel like something he could have added pretty easily. There was just no real build up to where you felt like this is gonna be a crazy. At least I was thinking that the end scene where I know she's gonna probably try to kill him. Like, in the back of my head, I'm like, okay, maybe this is at least gonna be suspenseful. And like not really sure what's gonna happen, but it's just so dull, and there's no fear, there's no anticipation. It's just here it is. Melinda's on the boat, and now of course she wants to kill him, and then so she shoots him like on accident, and then it.
Well, kinda. So, I mean, when she does shoot him by accident, she acts like, oh my god, I shot you. We were waving a gun at him, you dumb bitch.
I guess it wasn't on accident, you're right. But it was like, she didn't really want to do it. And she kind of like snapped to at that point, obviously. But they were trying to play this off that she has this kind of white rage, anger.
you said white rage, that's funny.
Black rage.
There you go. There you go.
Where she sees red, or should I say black.
Nice.
So but it didn't really feel as serious to me, and I feel like if he would have focused kind of on her and those emotions rather than stupid shit like her sisters just like berating her constantly, then I feel like he could have tried to make this suspenseful and something that would be worth watching rather than just this emotionless fight between two people we don't give a shit about. Like, I kind of wish that they had both died in this movie. Well, I mean, you'll find out. We'll save that. But yeah, it's honestly very therapeutic to talk to you about this. But at the time, I couldn't stop laughing. It was just too much.
So as we kind of wrap up here, I will just say, honestly, I was at about a D- for this movie for most of it. I'm laughing so hard that I'll give it a D-. But the last 30 minutes just turns into the Twilight Zone is more realistic than this shit is. It just goes off the fucking rails. And it comes back to what I've always said, man. Tyler Perry is just, he is cooning and niggering it up to the highest degree in this movie. And I thought he hated dark-skinned black men. He hates dark-skinned black women more, because if you are a black woman in this movie, you're either stupid or a gold digger or or promiscuous, or maybe all three. It really is just, it's insane to me that people thought this was good. Well, okay, people didn't think it was good, but that people, but you know what I mean, that people are still supporting this shit. The budget on this was $20 million, and it's already made 18.8 domestic, so it'll make a profit.
I really want people to watch carefully in this movie too, because I feel like you're gonna be able to tell. I know you're never gonna see this again, but if you were to watch through it again, like try to pick out where the CG is or where the green screen is, so that you can really tell. Because they only go a few places. If you pay attention, they only actually go a few places.
True.
In this movie. But yeah, I'm surprised that the budget is there. I thought it was going to be less.
The last thing I'll say before I kind of give my rating, can we just talk about how young Robert, just in the Tyler Perry land, you know, they're in this decent area in Atlanta, I think is where they're at, and of course, Robert has the one trailer, and the trailer is even broken down inside, like the walls are falling in. I'm like, oh my god, you just cannot give black folks a break. And but you know what I mean? It's just like that extra, like, in case you didn't know he was poor, let me break down this trailer.
You know what I thought when I was watching the first part of this movie? I thought that young Robert was going to turn into to Tyler Perry. Like, I thought that he was gonna.
Oh God!
I thought that he was writing him to be this really cool dude who likes really cool music, and who's like smooth and good looking, and like is super smart and blah 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 blah. And it turns out to be Tyler Perry. I'm like, oh, I would have. Ooh boy, it took me to a new level. But yeah. So did you get to the bottom with this grade? Like how?
Oh yeah. This is a go fuck yourself the highest degree. But in a weird way, it's like a high go fuck yourself. Like if this was on TV and you just wanted to laugh, like if you just went through a breakup with someone and you just want to laugh at people's pain, this is a perfect movie to watch. Because everyone's unlikable, and you might find it therapeutic, and just go, you know what I mean, in a weird way.
This is absolutely a go fuck yourself. But I agree. I feel like I would watch this before I watch like Boo, because like Boo made me like really angry. This one was like ridiculous to the point that it was almost funny. Like the fact that it's almost entertaining to watch him flail and like fail at this kind of in a weird kind of sick way. But yeah, this is absolutely go fuck yourself.
This is like Maury the movie. That's the best way I could describe it. Like, because I know, but you know what I mean. Like I know Maury is a trash show. Like it's a horrible show. But I find genuine entertainment in Maury watching those paternity tests and being like, "Oh, Maury, what are you gonna tell me?"
Ruining people's lives.
You know, but I laugh at that shit. So that is this is Maury the movie for me. If someone were to tell me this is trashy, it's like Teen Mom, I'd go, yeah, and I mean it's really bad. But
like I feel like we could have. All right, think of the plot of this movie where I thought it was going to be, which was like a revenge movie that was like maybe the guy was a complete douchebag and was always cheating on her, and she kind of played it cool until the very end where he was like, I'm going to show you. That's kind of what I thought this was going to be like. But he stumbled his way through. Like I feel like we could have come up with way better plot for this, and I don't mean that because just be like, oh, Tyler Perry sucks, but like I honestly feel like he put no effort into the creative side of this plot, and boy, he's super proud of it apparently, because the last thing you see in the credits is written, directed, and produced by Tyler Perry. So his name's on the poster.
So I'm happy you threw that out, that you're saying like we could probably write a better script, because I'll give you a perfect example of how he could improve the script. If the acid, right, that they never explain, if they had said that the dude she was dating was a scientist, and have her go crawling back and be like, baby, I'm so sorry, like you told me I had a small dick, which he does, by the way, and it's like, baby, I'm sorry, Robert had me so hung up. And she fucks him just to get access to like whatever he has.
Right, a little bit of intrigue there.
Yeah, and then just go, yeah, fuck off. Like I used you. Like that would have made her like a real psycho bitch, considering she just told him off in a couple scenes prior.
I mean, there was already a sex scene with them. You just throw that in there.
Yeah. Like I mean, that would have been a perfect way to go ahead and show just how psychotic how low she was going as far as her psyche, and yet no. Like, I mean that's me off the top of the dome, by the way. So when I say that I think I could write a better script than Tyler Perry, I truly believe it. But yeah, so go fuck yourselves across the board. This will be on my worst of. It will be interesting to see. You know what's funny though? So before we kind of wrap up here, I'm just gonna say I think I Feel Pretty will be higher on my worst of than this will be.
Oh wow!
I think it will be. I don't know.
Or lower, if you will.
If you will, yeah. But I think I Feel Pretty will be... I will hate it more than I hate this movie.
That's saying a lot.
Because I hated this movie, but at least I laughed at it. I think I Feel Pretty is going to be like Snatched, but worse than Snatched.
Let me ask you about this movie. Did you feel angry? It didn't make you angry, did it?
I mean, it did, just because, like, when it got to the end, because there's nothing I hate more. I would rather have someone try a crazy concept and it just not be executed properly than to insult me. And this movie really did insult me with just how much it was expecting me to just let go. And I went, no, I'm not letting that go because that's fucking ridiculous. So,
well, stay tuned for our next review then.
Yeah, and we have a Medea family reunion movie, I think, coming out.
Yeah,
I know. Aren't you excited?
No, I don't want to.
I love that. I love that reaction. Ugh. That's pretty accurate. But yeah, go fuck yourselves across the board. So, guys, what did you think of? Hopefully, you didn't see this, but what did you think of Acrimony? Let us know in the comments below. You can follow us on hit that subscribe button. Follow us here on SoundCloud, Podbean, iTunes, and Google Music at The Real Pineapple. You can like us on Facebook at The Real Pineapple. You can follow yours truly on the Twitter at JHunterRealPineapple. You can follow Scott on Twitter at
Newman the First.
And you can follow our buddy Colin. We miss you, buddy. Miss Colin, Mr. Worldwide. Fuck Pitbull. We can follow. You can follow Colin on Twitter at The Real REEL O'Neill. He outlasted that terrible CBS show. Guys, thank you so much for listening. We will have reviews up this weekend for Blockers, starring John Cena. Yeah. The return of
You love wrestling, though.
I do, but I don't like John Cena. We'll have the return of Zebra Down. Speaking of wrestling, we'll go over our WrestleMania picks, and we'll have a review up for Girls Season 1, which I am so excited to review. I'm actually going to start watching that here in just a bit. So, yeah. Because if you have me as a friend on Facebook, my evil former friend is the one who inspired this, because I said Leah Dunham and Amy Schumer are to feminism what Tyler Perry and Ben Carson are to black people, and I stand by that statement. By the way,
Loud and proud.
Lester, yes sir. So we'll have a review for Girls Season 1 this weekend as well, guys. Guys, thank you so much for listening. We'll talk to you soon.
Peace.